You right?
Half left, actually.
Hello, guys.
Hello, guys.
Hello.
I think you left the light on. That's all right. I'll turn it off later.
Oh, yeah, it isn't. I can go turn it off.
No, it's all right. I'll pay the bill. It's fine.
Go turn it off.
No, it's fine. It gives me something to talk about.
That's all you brought to the table.
Yeah, how your generation wants us to go green, but your generation's the one that leaves all the lights on.
So ageist.
So what?
Ageist.
Ageist.
Go my generation.
You're an ageist now. You're 32.
That's not what the word means.
It's whatever you decide it means.
No, it isn't.
Your generation has done that to every other word that was invented.
No.
Oh, this now means this.
No, we haven't.
Yes, you have that silly word for, I don't know, some in a relationship or something. Or there's some stupid word that you told me. I can't remember it.
Great story.
All right, perfect experience. Gay time. Anybody who knows, who's my age, knows gay time is an ice pole or an ice cream. It wasn't a fun time for gay people. Gay meant you were happy.
What does it mean that?
Then you overtook what you do.
It's a bit of
You
wine.
dribbling.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll stop picking on
Thank
your
you.
generation. I'll find someone
You're
else
like
to
a
pick
broken record. What?
What? You're getting there. I'm listening to you to become a mini-me.
What's...
This will be good. By the time I leave the planet, you'll be a complete me and you can take over.
Oh my God.
There'll be still the voice
Please.
of Peter. What do you do? Oh, that was well done.
Sorry.
We can tell who does the editing of the pods.
The microphone fell out.
It didn't fall out. You pulled it out. You stepped on it.
I didn't. It got caught on the chair.
Well, you oh,
Sorry, I need to put this
is
back
going to be
in.
really noisy.
I'm sorry, I need to put it back in. Sorry, it got caught on the chair. I was trying to stand up to zoom this out because we're like sitting on each other's laps.
I don't know why you always do that. You always want me to sit closer to you. Like, I don't mind when you've had a shower. It's just the other time. So I'm not being a snob. I was just checking.
Looks
something.
like it.
I'm not. I was waiting for you to start.
I have started. I've said hi. We're recording.
That's all you brought to the table.
No. Why do I always have to go first?
Well, I can go first.
Age before beauty.
So, you're first then.
No.
And I'm more beautiful, so it's got to be both ways you're first.
No. We had a nice shoot with Shay yesterday. That was your first shoot of the year, wasn't it?
Yes, it's very annoying.
But even Shay yesterday, when you finished shooting, we were sitting around having a chat. Even she saying that she's struggling to find people to shoot as well.
I'm still shooting too much for work and not for me.
Yeah.
That's my problem. It took me a bit to get into the flow. Well, the first setup I did, I know I like it, but I know there's going to be a lot of photographers out there that don't like it. But that's the difference of one of my passions in photography is that edgy fashion, broken fashion look, which is the lighting isn't being lit perfect. It's like this for a reason. It gives the mood.
Yeah. What was the first one we did?
Against the wall, when I put her half in the shadow.
Oh, yes, that's right. Sorry, I couldn't remember.
Like, I know the third one most of them will love.
Yes, that one was really... They were all really cool, different setups.
Yeah, they are, but they're more based on fashion. And then finishing off with the natural light.
It was a really nice day.
We've got a fair bit done. I was struggling to get a flow in my own head.
Is that just because you haven't done a shoot in a while, and so it's taking you a while to get back into it?
There's a couple of, that was one of it. The other thing was what I felt like doing over the Christmas break. I was going to paint the floor, and I would have done something there, but I couldn't do that because I hadn't painted the floor. So there's a few little things that I had certain things in my mind to do, but because I hadn't
painted.
Like, don't get me wrong, I love the dirty floor, but for certain looks I want just...
You want it clean.
Well, so I want it grey, just even grey everywhere.
Yeah.
And when it's dirty, I don't get the even grey.
It gets blotchy.
Yes, very blotchy.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
And then we were going to shoot today, but we're shooting all of next week, and so you didn't want to burn me out.
I didn't want you to burn you out, and I'm still falling a bit behind, and you've been a little bit off colour.
Off colour.
Well, after playing up so much on your birthday.
No, I was even thinking, like, I still bought a few things in my car. I bought all my makeup, but even I was a bit like, if we're shooting every day next week, that's going to be a big week on me, shoots-wise.
Yes, that's why I said it.
I know. I was kind of glad you did.
Well, you could have said it. You don't have to leave everything to me.
I'm not leaving everything to you. It's just when you said it, I was like, yeah, that's true. It will be. I'm excited for next week, though.
I'm hoping it works.
I'm certain it will.
If it works, we'll do a lot more of it.
Yeah, which will be cool. And then tomorrow you've got to shoot with Lissy, who we haven't seen in ages.
Yeah, dance shoot, which I haven't done in a long time.
We haven't seen Lissy or done a dance shoot in ages.
No, she's been overseas. I know she's been in the UK dancing.
I thought she was in Brisbane.
That's where she lives.
Oh.
But yeah, anyway, nobody out there knows who we're talking about.
No, yeah. But they would all know the photo.
Lissy is the ballet dancer we did with on point with the camera.
Yeah.
So she was nailed it in the first pose.
Wasn't it 2 frames?
2 frames for her first pose.
Oh, right.
Remember? She leant over, grabbed, and then came back up, and I've gone click, click, and then that was it. So it was a second frame, but it was her first so the first time she came on the point, did it, and I just let her come up a fraction more, and that second click.
Click, click.
Click, click.
It'd be nice to see her again.
Yes. All those things I really miss shooting dance, but against...
You're so fussy when it comes to finding dancers.
Yes and no. I do really appreciate the perfect technical dancers, but then I don't want them to dance perfect technical. I still want them trained to be that, but then I want to then break it. It's like I want like a jazz musician.
What do you mean?
Well, like classical music's perfect. Everything's got its space. Has to be done this way. No variation. Well, not much variation. And then you get 5 of the top dancers in the world, get them all to do the same dance, and the photos are going to be nearly identical.
Right.
Right, because their skill's perfect. Their feet, their hands, everything is absolutely perfect. Whereas I much prefer the people like Jackson, Louisa. Or Louise, isn't it? Not
Louisa.
Louisa. They are at like the peak of their game, but they also like to now play it like jazz, not get out of the classical perfect. Add some out of time, add some break the pose. Don't do it perfect, break part of it to make
it more interesting rather than just...
So there's a feel. So some of the best singers in the world aren't the best singers in the world, but their voice sounds the best. Like technically they're not the best, but there's something about the way they sing. People like Amy Winehouse, right? There'd be a million better singers than her technically, but the way she gets the soul into it. And even Jimi Hendrix, like there's so many guitars that can play 100 times quicker than do all of that and get it into all different sort of chord progressions where Jimi Hendrix pretty much sat in his area, but the soul he could put into the songs.
Well, it's kind of like you with your photography, like you get it.
That's how I want my photography.
Yeah.
So when I'm looking at things, I have a bit of a technical brain to make sure I have got all the details that I want
But then you like
then
to
I want to
break
break it.
Yeah. That's what I meant.
I like broken things.
Broken things. That's
Broken
why you
things.
employed me.
Yes, I waited till I found something
Broken.
more broken than my previous assistant. But no, it's a lot of the stuff is like perfect is nice, but it's boring, predictable, and sometimes what's happened years and years ago, say what I used to call a uni student photographer, was just someone who hadn't learnt their skills properly to tell a story, hadn't learned their skills with lighting, hadn't worked their skills with getting the idea through to the model and then helping the model get there. But have these really cool ideas but don't work because all those other things weren't followed. Like, it could have worked.
Yeah.
And it needed, like, the Coco Chanel.
Just take one thing out.
Take one thing out. It's too much. You need to... And I've done it myself. I can look at a lot of my work where... early work. Then you've got the newer photographers I'm seeing from uni. It's more like AI.
Yeah.
It's like if they haven't used AI to edit it all, they've used, their mind has to be razor sharp, has to be this, has to be that perfect colour toning. And it's basically this thing which is, it doesn't look real. So you just look at it. It's like watching any of the big blockbuster things, like especially the apocalyptic movies, when you see buildings and that all getting blown away, or like an ice storm comes in and instantly freezes it. It just never feels real.
Guess so.
You guess so.
What?
What? Oh yeah, we've got to also talk about other things that are not real. It doesn't look like we're going to do a Patreon.
Oh, yes.
Because...
they don't allow videos because we have to mark our page as being 18 plus so that we can allow things that aren't allowed on YouTube, but then we can't upload videos on Patreon.
Yes. And they only
for 18 plus.
For 18 plus.
Yes, you can't have
this
videos.
18 plus content in the real world is only 15 plus.
No?
A single boob can be every movie that's MA15.
Really?
Yep. A single boob's not R-rated.
Oh, okay.
Well, you've also got all the... What's your Game of Thrones and all of those? Are they classified as R-rated? I don't think they are.
I don't know.
Well, they show dongers. That's why you watch it.
No, it's not.
It is. It's exactly why you watched it.
It is not why I watch it.
That's why you haven't watched the Viking movie. It didn't have dongers in it.
God, no.
If it had dong on it, you would have been straight in there.
That's not true.
I think you might have.
No, absolutely not. But yeah, it's very annoying that we had all these grand plans to start a Patreon, and that was going to be... We told everyone about it a couple of podcasts ago, but...
Yeah, I had plans to build like a different type of environment to inspire. Like, it wouldn't undercut Inspire at all.
Yeah.
That's always going to have the most detailed content. It'll be most of our time is spent on it. There's a lot of other stuff that would have just finished off some of the YouTube stuff better. It allows you to see a little bit more what we really do. So even things that we literally censored in editing, they still limited those things.
I know.
So stupid things. One of them was Shay in the streets of Prague. She did a spin. You could see a bit of her undies.
Yeah.
So that's not... You don't go to jail for flashing your undies.
I know. But I found another site called Coffee, and I can't see anything that says you can't... Like, you can put up... You can have membership tiers, or you can just have like a little tip thing. So supporters can just come and give you like a custom tip amount. They just want to give you a one-off tip. But if you want to join and be a member, then there'll be member-only content, and then you pay a monthly subscription and you get access to the member-only content. So I was watching a YouTube video on it before. It all seems pretty... Like, looks nice. It seems easy enough to use. And I think I've seen a few people, like, saying they've got a link to their, like, coffee page. So
does anybody have free coffee pages, or they're all
Well, yeah, I think you can just have it where you don't have like a membership tier. And
There's still a fair bit I want to look into because all of the back end stuff. It's like I was uploading something to YouTube today and had a video to watch to make sure it was that. It's so open that they can just decide rather than say, oh no, no. Like you're reading was this the same page the other day that you could have someone sitting a certain way, but if they sat this way?
No, it said that you can have like...
You don't go into detail.
You can have nudity that is like artistic if it's like professional photo shoots and stuff, but you can't have like explicit content. And then it went into a lot of detail of what would they considered explicit.
Yeah, but what's art then?
Not someone on all fours with splayed legs.
But there's a famous Czech photographer that his stuff is really art, but it's super explicit.
I don't know. It's where I get frustrated because it's like you said. It's like where's the line?
And for us to set up, it's going to cost at least 3 weeks' work from my end to get it set up and to fit in, so it doesn't. Basically, YouTube will then become teasers to the other two because we can't. It's getting harder and harder.
Yeah.
I'm just editing up one we did with Shay yesterday, and even though I can't see anything, I'm still going to be anxious as hell.
Yeah.
That after 2 days of going, and if it starts going well, we're going to go, we're demonetizing it, and we're not going to tell you why.
I will tell you why, but it'll be BS.
Oh, yeah, well, it's the first time they've ever showed us exactly why.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even, that didn't break their rules. But, sorry, somebody else said it did. Well, can you look at it and you'll see they made no.
Yeah. Frustrations. Oh, big stretch.
But, yeah, on that, I'm just trying to find a porthole for the people that can't afford Inspire, who can still get a vibe of how we work in the fashion industry, because the side of a nipple in the fashion industry nobody even sees.
Yeah, no one cares.
And it's all right, so with YouTube, just as soon as that last one got age restricted, I literally pulled down every other tutorial that had been age restricted because I got sick and tired of the amount of views that it had, which means YouTube are making money, and we made 1 cent in 3 years.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's this. I think it's another trick that YouTube's making. They put their prices up for people who pay for premium. They've put ad revenue up for everybody on ads, and they've cut the revenue for content creators.
I need to cancel my free trial for premium.
Your free trial?
What? I did the free trial.
Well, I seriously could not do YouTube without
premium. Well,
premium because
I'm not paying $22.
I do a bit of searching on lots of stuff. My music, there's so much stuff I quickly, and if I knew, Google is useless, and you found that out the other day too. You search someone on Google, it's who pays the ads is what's going to come up.
I think if you keep scrolling past the sponsored, I just didn't notice the sponsored part.
How far do you have to?
Well, really not too far. It's the top couple of posts, but I just didn't see it's the sponsored part of it. And then afterwards, I looked, I was like, oh, it does say sponsored next to it. I didn't see that.
Yeah, I searched something for somebody, and I think it was on a Fuji, and the first 3 things came up were on Nikon.
But they said sponsored next to it?
Yeah, but sorry, I didn't say, can you show me who pays for sponsorship with you? No, I asked, because you don't get it on YouTube. They don't give you sponsored by.
Don't they?
No. Oh, unless, I don't know if they do it with the freebies.
I don't know.
Like everything costs money, everything needs to be paid for. But when you advertise that you've got the best search engine in the world, but we're not going to show you what you search, we're going to show you who've paid ads.
Well, that's what they're paying their ad for, so that they get promoted to the top, so that they get clicks. That's what, literally the point of an ad.
Yeah, what's used for someone? So you're paying for an ad for people who aren't interested in your product.
Well, they're hoping that maybe if once they see it, they will be interested.
Who's interested in Nikon? I'm joking.
Certain people.
No, I'm joking. Full-on joking. I spoke to somebody the other day from our Inspire and that who was having issues because he loved his Nikon D850, I think they're called, or something. And everyone was pushing, you got to go mirrorless, mirrorless, mirrorless. He decided to go with the Leica and he said, it's too sharp. I just want my look. I want the mirrorless, but I want the look of my old Nikon. And I can understand that.
Everyone has their preference.
Preference.
Oh, I need to sit properly on this chair. My back is playing up.
Playing up.
Not as bad as yours, but...
Well, I'm being nice to the people that are listening to this while they're vacuuming or driving in a car, so they can't see it. But I got a little, is it Instax? That's what it's called? Instax back that goes on my Mamiya.
Mamma mia.
So I can get the square Instax and put it in and then shoot on my Mamiya. Even though I've got a Polaroid back from my Mamiya, you can't buy that film anymore. And
you have a whole fridge full of it? Or is that different Polaroid film?
I know, I decided to pull out 2 of the out-of-date ones and took the picture, and then when it came out, it nearly went to dust as it came out. It was completely dry. So I think they're all completely gone now. Well, I think that pack was 1962.
Jesus. This is nearly as old as you.
Maybe I'm that crusty on the inside. And I've got the new Polaroid camera and I like it, except it's, I can't remember, I think F8 is its, I don't know, there's a few things I don't like. It does, even though you have manual, it's not in my brain set with the ISO, 6400 I think is the ISO. So all these things that my brain's not set, whereas the Instax is 800 ISO, I just can look in here, I can just look and go, oh, and that's what I did with the picture I did today. I said, 3.5, this will be a 60th of a second at 800. And you saw it perfectly exposed first time.
Perfectly.
And I do like the manual focus, even though it's through that. Yes. But now I just want a bigger version of it.
Yeah, when I went upstairs before and left the light on, I was having a look at the size difference of the one. I do like the...
Someone needs to design the Polaroid back to go onto the Mamiya. To my Mamma Mia.
To your Mamma Mia. I like Polaroids. There's something about them. They're just fun.
They're one-offs.
Yeah, I know that.
No, but that's why I think they're so good. They're one-offs. That's.
I think they've just got a certain look to them as well. There's a certain colouring and...
Oh, yeah, no, it's beautiful.
The flash
thing.
I don't know. They just have a certain look to them that I like.
Well, the one I shot of Shay yesterday, I did really like how that came out.
I need to check if I think I've still got Polaroid film at mine. Because I've got the Instax, but they come out like credit card size. They're
mini.
They're
the mini. They're too small.
I know, but it was a present.
A present.
But I need to check I've still got film because I've got my Hens coming back.
You're going to take it to your Hens, are you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hens is bachelorette
You could sell
party.
that.
Is that what they call it? Bachelorette party?
I've always called it a Hens when I was growing up. But
I think overseas.
Since The Bachelor came out.
I think overseas they call it a bachelorette party.
Bachelorette.
Yeah, we call it a Hens in Australia. But no, of course I need to take it and
there
get
is
photos.
Is a bachelorette a proper word?
Yeah. I'm certain.
You're certain? No, that's right. I didn't know if it was just that TV show who did it.
No, I'm certain it's a word.
I'm not going to argue with you. Someone who can't even read a dictionary, let alone spell it, to do search on it.
I'll take some fun photos after the winery.
Lucky it's auto. Make sure you take the cap off.
It does. You have to. Once it doesn't have a cap, once you push the lens out, it automatically opens.
Or make sure you push your lens out.
You can't take a photo without it.
Once you've drinking enough, you can do amazing things.
Do amazing things without drinking.
So, what did you learn in 2024? Really, what did you learn? So what, I think this is important, everybody looks at it, because I think it's an important idea of if the year was a good year for you or bad, like if you just floated through the year as if it didn't even happen, which meant you didn't affect the world in any way.
Panicking about stuff normally isn't worth it, because
that's never going to stop you.
Most likely be okay.
I have a sister and a PA, the biggest friggin'. I'm surprised you don't have friggin'. Oh, what's the name for it? When you stress out so much, it gives you ulcers. Well, you might do.
I'm not going to say
you might have ulcers on ulcers.
How do you know I don't? Yeah.
So you didn't learn anything?
Oh, I just did. What did I just say?
But did you learn from it?
Well,
or you're just saying you're going to try not to?
Yeah.
That's not learning from it.
Yes,
if you learned, you just wouldn't.
No, well, I have anxiety. I can't help it sometimes. With chemical imbalance in my brain.
Yeah, some of it's self-created anxiety. It didn't exist.
I learnt that. I learnt some new recipes.
You're just trying to get it back to food, aren't you?
No, I'm just answering your question.
So you learned some new recipes. That's your big takeaway from last year.
Planning a wedding is a lot of work.
You wanted it, you suffer.
So I'm just answering your question. What did you learn?
What did I learn? Yeah, the more gear, the worse you're off.
Even though you were talking to someone about buying more gear before?
No, but that's buying something I should never have sold. Something someone talked me into selling, which I've regretted since the day I sold it. Even though I didn't use it very much, when I did want to use it, I loved it. Right. It's just a lens. It's not high quality. Well, it's like a lens, so it's expensive, but it's not. It's a 16, 18, 21. So instead of having a zoom where it zooms in and out, you go click, click, click. So you can have 3 different wides, and it's 16. That was the one I shot Rosie's picture at the Eiffel Tower.
Oh, yeah.
It has this really nice distortion to it and vignette to it, which I like. It's f4, it's not super fast, but if I want to shoot wide, I want those distortions, and it had it. I have my widest Leica is a 21, and it's just too perfect. It's missing the reason I want wide. As an Australian photographer, I don't know if he's shooting much super wide anymore, but his very early work, it's George's Anthony. His early work, he shot so much fashion on 16mm. I think he was shooting Canon. It was just 16 to 35, I think he had. And there's distortion in the picture just made those pictures amazing. And I've been looking at them for a while. It's only that famous photographer that I know who I follow, but we personally know each other. I haven't seen him in like 7 or 8 years. Put a post up, he's selling a heap of his gear. The same reason he's just saying, I've got all this gear I'm just not using. Mm. And I saw he put that up there, and I just jumped straight on it. He said, yeah, there's so many people jumped on this. But basically, he's got someone looking at it tomorrow, and he said, he told me what price it was. He said, oh, but for you, I'll sell it at this price. I said, if he doesn't take it, I'll take it at the price you're going to sell it for him, because I'm happy at that. I shouldn't be oh no, I'll have bought it by the time if this came out and he saw it. I'd pay $1,000 more than what he's saying, because to try and buy him at the moment, there's $3,000 more.
Oh, wow.
So I'd pay $1,000 more. And I don't mind. I know Marcus Bell, an amazing photographer. I love his work. He does some of the best wedding work because he does have that paparazzi feel.
Why didn't you tell me this before I booked a wedding photographer?
It's about $25,000.
Oh, I don't have that much money.
Yeah, that's right. So calm it. Yeah, he has that look of, see, too many photographers like is it nephew? What's my sister's son? Is that nephew?
Yes.
His wedding, it was like, oh, we've just got our, what are they called? Action set that has their look.
Yeah.
And you look at it and it's just like all the same. It's sort of like trying to be emotive, but everyone looks staged. And Marcus's work is not like that. He gets in between people with lenses and shoots but he doesn't pose people. He just goes crazy.
Crazy.
He has a really good look, and I really respect him. Number one, being a wedding photographer, I couldn't do it. And he just sticks to his art and does it well.
Nice.
Yes. I think the main thing I learnt was gear. No, because I did a lot of tests on gear and just realised. Well, you saw how many times I friggin'...
I was a guinea pig a lot
then
of
look at the
times.
pictures and just go...
Can I borrow this to clean my glasses?
It didn't make any difference.
Yeah.
Really, if the model gave a good expression, it didn't matter which lens I had on. And that's how it used to be. It was only when I think Sony was the problem. Sony was too perfect, so I kept on trying to find glass that made it more emotive. Then I got into the Leica, and it's another whole friggin' $1 trillion excursion. Itchy. Fleas again.
I don't have fleas again.
I might have to tell Jared.
I know, I don't have fleas.
I should tell Jared.
No, don't.
He'll find the phantom fleas.
No.
See, it's a flea bite.
No, we're not going through that again. I don't know what else I learned. I'm sure there's stuff. I just can't think. I can never think on the spot.
We'll get off the spot. Just take a step.
I can never think on the spot.
See, that's where I'm better.
On the spot?
Yeah.
I'm not.
If I have too much time to think about it, then I'll make a bad decision. I'm normally better with a quick decision.
Well, if I've had to go through... I made a quick decision with my dress for my Hens and look where that got me. Didn't think about it. And I've had to go through returning it, waiting for a credit, and then buying a new one.
The bow is pretty...
I like the bow.
Well, you're sending it back.
Because it was grey.
Yes, it was grey in the photos.
I thought it would be more like sparkly and like diamondy.
Taylor Swifty, you went to the wrong side.
I thought it would be more diamondy. I didn't think it was going to be grey.
I thought it was grey.
I didn't think so. Anyway.
You want to shine like a diamond.
That's what happens when I don't think about things. Whereas now that I've thought about it, but thank God I have my store credit now. That's such an annoying process.
Have you got it now?
Yeah.
So have you reordered?
No. I've been working. This is on your time. I do my life.
Sorry. All day yesterday, you're back and forth looking on my time to see if you got your store credit. If you hadn't done that yesterday...
I wasn't doing it all day. I think I did it twice.
I saw you pulling your hair out going, where's my store credit?
I did it twice yesterday. I have Safari open with my emails and I refreshed it once in the morning, once in the afternoon, and I didn't have it. And then this morning I refreshed it and I have it.
It's all right, I'll just bring up computer history.
Okay, go for it.
Go for it. Oh, go for it. You're the fact checker of everybody else. Nobody else can say anything without you being the fact checker. She loves it. You can't tell her anything. Bang, I need to see this. I need to check. I need to prove you're wrong. Even though I don't know if you are or not, I want to prove you wrong.
No,
You do. You do it all the time.
Everything.
So often.
Yeah, well... Otherwise you go around spouting misinformation.
You've been doing that for years.
Like what?
Like what? Taylor Swift is good. That's misinformation. That's right up there with paper masks protect you.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, we found out today that birds are animals. I'm trying to say they're not animals. Birds are animals.
So a fish?
Yep.
Lizards?
Yep.
So why are they called reptiles? Oh, they're subgenres. They're also friends of Jared's. Let's have 37 different subgenres of metal. Now tell me the difference between it. Oh. Everyone knows he's this subgenre. That sounds the same as... No. If you listen really carefully, the kick drum every 20th beat will click twice. And see, that's where he's wrong. If you look up what drum and bass originally was, it's tempo. It's not the beat, it's the tempo. Now it's the beat. So even they changed. And then you now have liquid drum and bass.
Yes.
Do you have hard style drum and bass?
Most likely.
Do they have techno drum and bass?
Probably.
Psy drum and bass?
Yeah, I think that's what Ivy kind of plays, is like proggy drum and bass.
Yeah, I didn't vibe on her on that.
Sure, some songs were all right.
Like, vibed. Dom Dollar, sorry, she works out personal back masseurs with me.
It was Dimension, not
Oh,
Dom
Dimension,
Dollar.
sorry.
Dom Dollar.
Personal back masseurs.
Oh my God. So weird.
So weird. Oh, you're going to disconnect yourself again.
No, it nearly fell out of my pocket and I didn't want it to smash.
That's what I said. You're going to disconnect us
I
again.
didn't want to smash it and break it and then I'd have to pay for it. With all my money that I don't have. What?
I mean, it annoys me with all things like software now.
Oh, yes. Adobe.
Oh, well, I was in, yeah, we can go down that friggin' rabbit hole. Friggin' Adobe that's...
Is it
Well,
Adobe
not
or
just-
Adobe?
It depends if you're American or... No, joking. I don't know. I know that Nikon is Nikon, not Nikon.
Yeah, I know, we know that.
Yeah,
I don't know
I
if it's
know that.
Adobe or Adobe.
Yeah, that I don't know. It's like some people call it Lacis and some people call it Lacey.
It's spelt Lacey.
Yeah, but some people call it Lacis. And I get half the photographers in the world. So I get caught in the middle. I don't know which is the right one. I need to listen to the CEO of Lacey or Lacis say what the company name is so I know which it really is. So
There should be
Daniel
another
Ricciardo. Daniel Ricciardo, when he's talking, he says his name is Ricciardo. Even though it's spelt like Ricciardo,
Yeah.
his pronunciation is Ricciardo. But then there's 4 or 5 commentators who go Ricciardo, even though everyone else says Ricardo. And then that lost me for a bit. Then I found out how he says it. So my sister got really peed off when she was still at Coulson. She hated people saying Coulson.
Yeah.
But then the spellings, some S-E-N-S-O-N, but there's still some people that are spelt the same as mine say it different.
Well,
So it must be the clam.
MGK's real name, his first name is Coulson, but he doesn't have a U in it. It's just C-O-L-S-O-N.
Oh.
I think it's because you've got a U in it that people pronounce it Coulson. I think it's the U that throws people off.
S-E-N and S-O-N.
I think it's the U, not the last part.
It's me. It's all about me.
It's not. I'm not saying you. I'm saying I think it's the
So where's MGK from?
America.
Originally?
America.
No, his parents and like...
Oh, I don't know.
I thought you were right into this person.
Yeah, but I don't know his heritage.
He's going to give you your love child. You should know more about him than this.
I don't know his heritage.
No, just wondering if it's just... See, so some of the problems with the names is back in the day when everyone was autistic like me, their name just got spelt wrong on one piece of paper, and now that's a new spelling of your name.
Actually, that's the same with Jared's last name. Apparently, it used to have an E on the end of it.
Yeah.
And then I think like maybe his great grandpa or something, just like I think when they came to Australia, they like spelt it without the E on the end, and now that's how it's spelled.
Yeah, so that might have been the MGK thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's no U in MGK.
I don't want there to be me in MGK.
I didn't think you'd pick up on it that quick.
Yes. Not completely stupid all the time.
Not completely stupid all the time.
Most of the time, but not all the time.
Many years ago when I used to drive a truck, there was a afternoon radio show and I just used to leave it on. It had no music, so I got pissed off with... I don't know, the music stations just tend to play the same every
songs.
hour, the five same, and that really used to pee me off. And back then, there wasn't a great deal of stations to pick from. You had what there was one called 3XY where no wrinklies fly.
What?
It was 3XY was there, and the thing was where no wrinklies fly. When old people.
Oh. So it was like the young person radio.
Yeah, but it was, but still it was, well, back then it was rock, so disco hadn't quite kicked in properly. So, no, it was just rock. So there wasn't disco.
Yeah.
Even then, they just played this set, and there was no Triple R or Triple J and all those more alternative channels. There's only like 1.5 radio stations in Melbourne, no, a bit more. But this other one was a talkback news one, and they used to have, like every hour, they had a different person on the same day each week. And one of them was on names, like people's names, and then told the history going back, how it became. So many of them goes, no, well, the name of the history, this is the original name, and here are the 5 misspellings of it over 200 years. So they're all the ones that are around today. But they've all been generated from here in Scotland or somewhere. And nobody can understand Scotland, so you wouldn't know how to pronounce it anyway.
Poor Jared always gets his name spelt incorrectly.
But is his name spelt like...
Well, because there's so many different spellings of Jared. There's like the
Right.
ED, AD, OD, YD, and he's a YD. But he was like forever getting spelt one of the other ones. Like
That's so annoys me in the friggin' my daughter and my sister's daughter and even I said that to both of them, and they're both sort of going, oh yeah, maybe you're a bit right. I said, how, so in the future, every single person that sees the name written is going to say, oh, so how do I pronounce this?
Yeah.
And every single person
that?
is going to say, so how do you spell that?
Yeah. Well, it's like even with, I always have to spell my last name at the moment. And then
Why?
Because it'll get
EA or EE?
Yeah. So I have to spell
suppose
it.
so, yeah.
Yeah, so I spell that. But then I was like, oh, when I get a new one, I can just say it. And then Jared's like, nope, because of the E at the end. Everyone's going to think that that's how it's spelled with that E at the end. So you're still going to have to spell it. And I was like, damn, that's all right. I don't mind spelling it out. It's fine. I'm used to it.
Well, Len, my son, was saying, so I said, see, I've made it easier. And he goes, no, it hasn't. Everyone writes Glenn. So you'll say Len, but they'll write Glenn. Because they don't, Len isn't Leonard.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't a Leonard.
It was just Len.
3 letters, no middle name.
And I found it funny when I was doing your China visa years ago, and I hadn't been working for you for that long. Obviously, I know your kids are Len and Nikki, and on the China visa, it's like you have to list your family members. And so I'm like, okay, Leonard, and I'm like, Nicole, and you're like, what? And I'm like, what's that? And you're like, no, it's Len and Nikki.
Yeah.
I was like, I thought that'd be short.
I named their name their nickname, not their friggin'...
I was like, oh, Leonard and Nicole.
No, Len's nickname's Mental, so I should have just named him that.
That's funny, Oz.
And then middle names.
No middle
Nearly
name.
every person I know hates their middle name, so why would you give a kid something to hate by?
I like my middle name.
Kate.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's close to a cat. A Kate.
Kate.
A Kate. A Kate's very close to a Karen.
No,
There's quite a few Kates that I know that are Karens. So this is this fact-checking thing you do to everyone. It's your inner Karen coming out.
I'm not a
This is
Karen.
your inner Karen.
I'm so not an inner Karen.
Oh, I think she might be. Would you...
It fell
You
off my
break it,
leg.
you can pay for it.
It was slipping off my leg.
Just go you a pay rise, you'll lose it one slip.
It was falling off my leg.
It was falling off your leg.
I'll leave it there.
You'll leave it there.
Should I lock this table?
I think it's my side that's not locked.
Your side.
Yes, I'll lock my side. There you go, you happy now?
My side wasn't locked either.
Oh, that's because you moved it.
Yes. And then I forgot to lock it again. I'm so itchy. Why am I itchy?
So the best you can come up that you learnt from last year is this: do you get anxiety? Whoopie-doo, we all knew this.
No,
that hasn't been fixed.
No, but like a lot of the time, if like something goes wrong and I like stress about it, like it normally ends up being fine. So the stressing was a bit pointless.
I've had this discussion many a time with you.
I know.
It still hasn't changed.
Sometimes, well, it's like the other day you said that you wanted to have a talk and I used to be like, oh no, like I'm getting fired, like what have I done? And get all
Well, I was going to,
freaked
but I
out.
changed my mind.
And get all freaked out. And I don't do that anymore. And even if I was getting fired, well, I can't change anything about it.
If I was going to have a talk to fire you, I'd just say you're fired. Why would I stretch it out? Obviously, you weren't doing your job. Get out now. Why would I hang you out for another week? That's more pain for me. Just go.
Right.
And you can leave the laptop, your phone, and the Mercedes.
What would I do?
Oh, maybe the signs are on the wall.
What?
Well, the assistant that you kicked out, my old one,
I didn't kick her
I'd
out.
just given her a TV as well, my old TV. And it was in a very short time after that you kicked her out.
I didn't kick her
You
out.
did. You made her feel so insecure.
I did not.
Subworth.
I did
and
not.
the subculture of worth.
I did not.
She had to move countries because of you.
Oh, sure.
And had babies because of you.
Oh, stop it. You're being nasty.
Change her religion because
You're
of
being
you.
pasty.
Pasty.
Nasty pasty. But I don't know what else. You put me on the spot. I can't.
I know, but I think everyone should be doing this. Have a look at what did they learn last year. If they learnt nothing, then that was a wasted year. You should learn something every year. Like there should be some major lesson.
What I'm learning with all this friggin' wedding planning is that
Not to get married. you should have stuck with the elope. It would have been so much cheaper.
is I feel like I'm not getting anywhere because I start doing something that, like, I start working on something that needs to be done, and then I'll half do a bit of that, and then I'll be like, oh, and I need to do this, and then half do it. And so I'm not actually getting anything completed.
But that's what I told you. Put your list, you start at the top and work down.
Yeah, and just focus on one thing at a time. And the amount of stuff that I'm actually now, like, getting done, I'm like, oh, because I'm just focusing on one thing at a time instead of trying to multitask.
Our old assistant that you made quit.
I didn't make her quit.
What was one of the first things she said to you? What's the first thing you do in the morning?
Make a to-do list.
Right, because your to-do list will change from day to day.
Yeah.
So even if you have a list, what happened yesterday might change the order of what needs to be done today.
Yeah.
So I still have my mental to-do. I used to write it, but I don't write as much anymore because you would look at it and go, oh, I'm getting sacked. I think I did write it on there once, sack Bec.
No, you didn't.
I think I did.
That's so horrible.
I'll go back through my, because I was thinking you were sneaking and looking at my lists.
Oh, there was one time that you wrote on there that you needed to, like, learn how to do the back end of the workshop
that's right.
site and learn how to.
So we have a to-do, a really good app. I know it's Microsoft, but it goes across all platforms. I don't think it was free, but it was like $5. It's a once-off payment. And it's a thing called to-do list where you can you can have it synced to your phone, iPad, computers, everything's synced together. So as soon as you change on one, it's changed on all. And you just have your lists in there. And I have a lot, like that was what I was looking at just before. I was actually on my to-do list on my phone. And we have a to-do list. So there's a Peter to-do list, a Bec to-do list, a joint to-do list. Do I put it on the Bec to-do list or the... No, I'll put it on the
Peter one.
No, I'll put it on your one.
No, you put it on the Peter one saying learn back-end inspire, learn back-end workshop.
No,
It was on there.
No, it's on our joint one.
It was on there, though. This is before...
Joint one.
Before we had that joint one.
We don't do joints.
I don't either. It was... Before that one existed, it was on there, and I freaked out that you had it on there because you needed to learn it because you were going to get rid of me.
I think every single person out there, including people who've never been a boss, would understand. I have a business. If this thing got hit by a flying cat and didn't turn up to work again, there's a lot of things that she does that I don't know how to do. So my business is at risk. So all I want is little videos of this is how I do this. So if
I like the power.
well, yeah,
I'm joking.
you might have a pregnancy happens in instead of 9 months, 9 hours.
What?
Or you get pregnant and give birth within 9. Maybe some Viking alien raped you or something. But no, what I mean is something could happen and I need to do something the next day. Oh, there's no Miss Bec.
Yeah.
Maybe you lost your voice so you couldn't talk.
Like someone else I know that happened to.
Yeah, no, here's the thing. People have gone blind. People have changed what language they can talk in.
When you lost your voice.
Oh, yes.
And
That's just weird. My voice never came back properly.
You sound normal.
I never sound normal.
You do, now.
I do.
It took a while for it to come back, though. That was really random and weird.
Yeah, because I didn't have a cold or anything.
I know, you just all of a sudden...
I'm talking on the phone for like 2 hours with Anne.
Yeah.
Maybe Anne did it to me. Maybe it was a stress of... Thanks, Anne.
Yeah.
So do you even look at our to-do list?
Yeah.
Our joint one?
Yeah, I think.
What's it that admin spire?
I don't know.
Can't even remember why I put one of these things on there.
This is riveting you on your phone.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to work out why.
We can work it out later.
We can work it out later.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just there was stuff on there. I wondered why it was on there. So it's a really good thing to have a to-do list when you don't even know why it's to-do'd, why I'm going to do it.
I've done that before. I've like...
I do it because I'll spell something so badly I can't read it again.
Actually, that happened yesterday when I was saving all the files after filming. I was on the hard drive and I saw there was a folder called something and I was like, who's that person? Like, what is this? And it was Rara's partner, but because you spelled his last name really wrong, I was like...
Did I put his last name? Didn't I just put Richard?
No, then you put his last name, you spelled it incredibly wrong, and so I was like...
What's his last name?
Excuse me, Hughes. It's got a GH in it, though.
H-U-G-H.
No, you spelled it wrong. And I was really confused. I didn't know
You sure?
Yes.
Did you look it up to make sure?
Yes. So I was confused as to who it was, and I clicked on it. I was like, oh, it's Rara's.
Did it put H-U-S?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it sounds... See, this is one thing less. It's Coco Chanel on words. Why add letters in, like silent letters? Come, get rid of them. We can have two. That can mean two, and two. So two can be the letter, you two...
The number.
The letter, then to the number.
What?
See, you didn't go to my school.
Obviously.
And the they thing.
They're there and there.
There. Wasn't there they's different?
No.
There's who, how.
They're different words.
I know. Where is the K?
They're what?
K. Oh no, that's no. Yeah, but still, where's the K?
I don't know.
And if you have no and no, it's the way you write in the sentence, you know what it means.
Yeah, I know. My hat goes off to anyone who learns English as a second language because it is really difficult.
Isn't like Japanese worse?
I don't think Japanese is that hard to learn.
Isn't it?
So still, it's like different like characters.
No, I reckon that Middle Eastern where you've got to do camel noises.
What?
The Middle Eastern language, when they're doing all that,
You can't
coughing up.
Peter.
No, but I'm not being that, but how do you spell?
You don't.
No, see, I would be terrible. They would have executed me at birth. I would have just said no. Because those countries, if your eyes flickered, it was like what they did in, was it Sweden or Switzerland?
I don't know what you're talking about.
When they dong you on the head and throw you in the pile in the birthing ward. When you're born and the doctor goes, yeah, no, not this one. Bang, throw it. The way Greta was thrown.
Oh my God.
I thought you'd remember that joke. It's the funniest joke from Jim Jeffries.
It's not the funniest. There's many other funnier ones.
I really like that skit though. So I like the way that you ended up. It's just so black. It's my humour. Humour. So that's all you learned in 2024. That don't get married. And
I didn't say that.
I now know how to cook. What do I think you learned how to cook?
I didn't say certain things like that. You're just putting words in my mouth. And I can't think of what else I learned.
Exactly.
Because I'm put on the spot.
Sorry?
You put me on the spot.
Well, isn't that the whole idea of asking a question?
Yeah, no, I just can't think.
So you want to be a politician?
No.
Yeah, because that's what they want. They don't want questions without notice. They want you to send it a month before so they can study the answer and answer you.
I don't want to be a politician, though.
Well, you want questions with notice. That's no fun.
I'm trying to think.
So imagine you go into a bar and you go, oh, she's really nice. I'd like to ask her out for a date.
Well, I wouldn't because I have Jared.
No,
and I don't go that way.
So you say. No, I'm just saying, so do you need to see that girl before, find out her address, send her a letter and say, if I was to walk up to you in a bar because I thought you were really pretty and want to have a drink with you, can you think up what your answer will be and then on this day I'll ask you it? It can't be like that. You've got to be spur of the moments. Oh, I've fried that one. My little brain cell is running around in circles going, oh, I need to pee in the corner, but I'm in a barrel and there's no corner. And you run around in circles.
Oh my gosh. I don't know.
I don't know. That's your answer.
I don't know. What else did I learn?
I learned a lot. That was only one thing.
What else did you learn then?
I have too much gear.
You've already said this.
I know, but I've been selling it, which has even made it more that I have too much gear. I've learnt that I shouldn't work 24/7.
Yes. I've been telling you that.
I've learnt if you do work too hard, you work less.
Yes.
No, last year did burn me out towards the end and I still haven't recovered properly from it.
Recovered?
But I still have the guilt trips.
Yeah, you need to stop that.
So I go and sit next to a computer and do nothing because I'm guilted that I'm not working.
Yeah, but then you're not working anyway.
Well, I'm trying to work, but I'm hating what I'm doing.
Yeah, so you're not working, so you're not...
See, in the old days, if I hated it, I didn't do it. But Bec forces me to do it because I have to cover her frigging wine bill.
I hold a gun to your head and force you.
You do?
Yeah.
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 Oh, sorry. We have to fly more because I'm going to lose my status credit. Yes. Oh, that quietened her down. I didn't even need to fact check that one.
Oh, I still need to activate that bonus status credits.
Activate which bonus status?
My little bonus that Qantas sent me. I could
do that because it runs out, I think.
I know, I will do it. I'll do it after we
But
finish.
that's another thing. I'm really sus now. What are you looking at?
Just seeing how long we've been
Just seeing. With Qantas, there's a little thing that sits in your Google bar, and if you go to a site that you can get Qantas points if you buy off it, and there's quite a few sites, Airbnb, eBay, Apple, you click on it and it gets you points anytime you spend. But I'm sus that they've even given me any points every time I've clicked it. But then it's a you job to go through and then point out all these things we bought off these sites that they haven't given us our points for.
But they're not going to, they won't do anything about that.
They have to. They say...
I've tried it once before and I think they just said it didn't activate or something. And then they were like, no, we can't do it. I don't know.
You can't say it didn't activate when it activates.
I don't know. I can't remember the exact situation. I think I tried to fight it once and they were unhelpful like everyone in the world. Not everyone, a lot of people.
Everyone.
Not everyone.
Well, you didn't even want to contact your dress people that sold you the grey dress. Because, they're just...
Yeah, because I knew what it would be. It would be...
Read our terms and conditions.
Yeah, it would. I would, because you were telling me...
I'm not a pay grade to do this.
Because their terms and conditions literally say if you return If you return your clothing, we'll give you a store credit once it's returned back to us. You'll get your store credit within 21 days. If you need an urgent return, we recommend sending it back to us and then just ordering the correct size or style or whatever. Like, so I know if I contact them and was like, hey, I did this like in a rush, can you please, like, blah, blah, they would just tell me what it says on their FAQ, and then it says it can take up to 21 days. So if I contacted them...
That's why I said you shouldn't have FAQs.
Why?
Because it's a frequently asked question. It should be written somewhere that people would see it, so it wouldn't be asked.
Well, it was in the return. If you click returns, it's got like...
Oh, so it's not an FAQ?
Well, it said returns frequently asked questions. You're supposed to read that before you go to support. You need to have FAQs, otherwise you get bombarded with the same question over and over again. Like, why do you shoot black and white?
Why don't you shoot with a Fuji? We don't get the Fujis as much anymore.
We don't do I remember when we used to do
live streams.
When we did live streams during lockdown, and I said,
second question.
Can we make a pinned post of FAQ of everything that we get on these live Q&As? Sorry if that made me sound nasty.
I sort of get it, but I don't get it.
No, I get it for the people that I get it. It's just that...
No, I just feel there's something about the Fuji thing. Although I've heard people say there's a Canon thing and there's a Sony thing, and I just see it more as a Fuji. I'm not saying Fuji's bad, I'm just saying the people that tend to own Fuji are a bit like vegans. If I'm going to use this piece of crap, everybody else has to. No, I didn't. I'm joking. Yeah, it's a weird that I've never had someone from Pentax say, why don't you use a Pentax? Or why don't you use a Ricoh? Or any of that. And I don't think I've ever heard anyone say, why don't you use a Hasselblad?
Because you do. So why would they ask someone who... Like, they know you're shooting with Hasselblad. They're not going to ask you, why don't you when you do?
Well, why don't you wear Levi's?
I don't know, because I don't.
So, but it's not a thing. You see what I'm talking about? It's like, why don't you drive a Mazda? Why don't you drive a Kia?
Because I'm fancy.
Flancy. Or why don't you drive a Lamborghini?
Because I'm not that fancy. Why don't I drive a Lamborghini?
Because you don't have your Only Farts page up. If you had your Only Farts page up there, you'd be driving a Lamborghini.
I'm going to leave that in 2024.
The amount of people... No, we'd have to leave. All right, so we'll start. We won't do Only Farts anymore.
What?
No, we'll just go back to OnlyFans. Was funny. There is one, and maybe he still follows us. Maybe he got bored because we don't have any interesting things to say because you bring nothing to the party. At least I bring my phone.
I was being social.
Social.
My phone's over there.
I think there's one person that really likes every time I bring up Only Farts.
I think they're over it.
So I think he started it.
I think.
Or did I start it?
No, I don't remember, but I think they're over it now. I think everyone's over it.
I wonder if anyone has actually sold farts in a bag.
Yeah, there was a girl that was selling them in a jar.
Farts in a jar?
Yeah. Seriously. She was on a reality show, and when she gained popularity, then she was like selling farts in a jar.
How long did they last?
I don't know.
Do you have to put a use-by date on it?
I don't know.
What do you do? Do you buy it at a party? You bring out...
I don't know. I'm not into it.
I don't want to sniff someone else's farts. Thank you very much. Someone farted in the plane the other day, and there was 3 fat people fairly close to me, and I was sort of, why did I pick on the overweight people?
Why did you?
I don't
Nasty.
know. I actually said to myself, why did I pick on them?
That's nasty.
It couldn't be me. I could have slipped a silent but deadly and didn't know it. I know it wasn't me. It didn't have a me smell. It definitely had curry. It was a bit like curry chicken.
Why are we talking about this?
The farts.
This is so disgusting.
Maybe if you took jars onto plane, you could sell aeroplane fart.
No, thank you.
Jars.
It's not up my alley.
Not up your alley.
No, it's not.
You know, whenever Bec's wanting to finish the podcast, she keeps looking at that thing and see,
I was checking.
Have we clocked up enough time yet? I'm getting sick and tired of what Peter's talking about.
No, it's because we've been talking for over an hour. And
oh, have we?
Yes.
Well, I was just checking. It's just...
That's what I was doing, just seeing how long we've been talking for.
I was trying to keep it interesting.
Obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
Talking about farts. It's so interesting and not childlike at all.
Every kid loves a fart.
Yeah, that's why I said it's not childlike.
I'm not even going to say who it was, but very recently a little kid said, Daddy, pull my finger, and pulled the finger and it was wet.
Ew.
And the kid's face was horrified.
Ew. This is disgusting. I don't want to talk about this.
You don't want to talk about that?
It's really gross.
You never did that to anybody?
I don't think so.
You never say, Jared, pull my finger?
No, it's gross. And
I dare you to just once.
Oh.
He'll know what it means. I'm not saying
I know
do it.
he will, but I'm not doing it.
It'd be funny to look at I would love to see the
wouldn't.
look on his face.
I wouldn't. And I wouldn't like to do that. And
No,
I find
you wouldn't.
it
I know
funny.
you wouldn't do it, but just Jared's initial reaction to, is she real?
No, thank you.
You're no fun.
Yeah, I am heaps of fun.
You're
That's
no
just
fun.
that's not funny.
Typical Swiftie.
That's just not fun.
Put you into the Swiftie bucket.
Okay. Go for it.
Okay.
Go for
Anyway,
it.
if she's got the shitties now, we have to go. I'm going to get spoken to. Yeah, see, look at the face she's getting. See this face? I'm used to it. We've got a meeting tomorrow.
Shut up.
But I won't get stressed out because I'm the boss, I just tell them.
Hope you all have a lovely week. We will speak to you.
You can't get stressed when it's you calling the meeting.
I'm not calling a meeting.
Oh.
We'll talk to you guys when we're in New Zealand. And hope you have a great week.
Cut me off.
Bye, guys.